No, not really. I don't think it really doesn't really change anything. I will say this, that a lot of the moves that he's made, as far as, again, not streaming, not making videos, tweeting, but not, you turn off replies. Sometimes replies are on, sometimes replies are off, type of thing. There's been a huge, like, not engaging with the community. And the moves like this where you stop following everyone, is this just another move to further distance himself from the community? And distance himself not as like he's going to step away or something, but distance himself as in, again, like, you guys don't need me. I'm going to make sure that no matter what I do, you're going to be fine. All that stuff. Is it just a further move for that? I don't know. It definitely doesn't. That's the only, I talked about this a little bit before. Like, the only thing I think Richard, just what I think, I speculate that he knew that a lot of people would, once we got on the PulseChain, that it wouldn't be just that Hex is the only thing that matters anymore. It would be PulseChain. And then in PulseChain, he knew, I imagine, that it would attract a lot of people to build, and that they would have their own incentives. And especially when the price go down for core coins, they would want to look to other things to, preserve value or whatever on the certain time frame that they are interested in. So yeah, it's like, I feel like I've had this conversation so many times. It sucks that the splitting of buying pressure has become so intense that it's like, we don't have everyone just funneling this message of buy Hex, it's amazing, or PulseChain, why you don't have enough PLS, like, or we don't have enough people just like having this one message, because there isn't just one message anymore. It's whatever people are aligned and incentivized to do in the ecosystem, because it's not one coin anymore. It's the ecosystem. If you, again, participate in the ecosystem. So, do I wish it was just like, I wish everyone was like, oh, I'm just going to, go out of my way to buy the core coins and promote them. And, every time, just inherently, again, it's nothing against anyone. Like, I'm just speaking generally here and what I think about the stuff. Like, when you're talking about other coins, you're talking about, you go start your own company, start your own product, start your own whatever. That is, to me, the reason I've been always less interested in that, for example, is that it takes time and brain power and energy away from me promoting the core coins and the ideals and, Scivive and like all this stuff. So that's why I've always avoided it too. I have no monetization policy and stuff like that. Like, I really just want to like tie that into the brand and really help myself focus at least the majority of time, or at least as much as, I feel like doing, because again, it's all up to my discretion, right? To, promoting the ecosystem and healthy games played in that, and, Richard and his ideals and stuff like that. But when you have other projects, you have other things going on, inherently, you're going to have your incentives are going to start going in the other direction. Not the other direction technically, but other directions. So you're just going to naturally feel less inclined to be like, yeah, let me just talk about PulseChain all the time, or let me just talk about Hex all the time. You're going to be like, okay, maybe I'll talk about that, but also I'll talk about this other thing that I want to succeed and stuff too. And there's various degrees of that. It's on a spectrum. Some people like just literally just don't talk about Hex anymore, or talk about PulseChain or whatever. I'm sure there's some people on that spectrum who've just basically left that ideal. They're like, nope, price went down, can't care about this right now. Need to get, my priorities are, this is my time frame, and I'm going to go talk about the things I think are going to help me get to my goals individually or whatever, or in this group I'm in, or whatever, as quick as. And it's not like that's, it's not like a bad or good. It's not a black and white type of thing, but inherently, again, that's why I try to, I try to avoid like private groups and masterminds and like all these other things. Unless if there's something that really means a lot to me, I think it's really going to help PulseChain, maybe I'll tend to spend more time on it, but I really try not to. I try to, like, it better be really meaningful to me, and it better like really, strike me as interesting and strike me as, either helpful to the ecosystem or helpful to whatever, or personally fascinating or otherwise, for me to spend time on it. And I try to do that a lot. But that's just me. Some people, it just doesn't, everyone has their own thing, right? Everyone has their own mission, or maybe some people don't have a mission. They just like kind of just, they're entertained by certain things, and certain things they're not. But for me, it's been, prioritizing, promoting the ecosystem, promoting projects I think that are healthy for it, and RH ideals and stuff like that. So anyways, if you thought the splitting and buying pressure was real before PulseChain, afterwards we've seen, there's still plenty of people staking and buying hex and stuff, but it isn't like everyone is just funneled through that ideal now, and everyone's just like talking about the everyday like it used to be, and how Pulse, and for good reason, right? Like a lot of people aren't getting rewarded, right? They're not seeing that whatever they expected to happen, which regardless of what they should have expected or shouldn't have or whatever, they're not seeing it do whatever they need to do, and they don't see that. Then how can you expect them to just keep like chugging along and keep self-sacrificing? That's a lot to ask from people. So I totally get it for people who go onto other projects, or leave the ecosystem, or just don't promote things like they used to or whatever. Like I understand it. I get it. I wish it wasn't that way. I wish we had more of a reason to, like, other than just, I wish we had price go up and the principles and values that everyone wanted to talk about and promote and like spend energy towards and be totally incentivized and, just refreshed to be like, yeah, we're fighting for freedom and privacy and the price is going up and I'm not losing money and all I have to do is hold. I don't have to trade. And it's amazing. I wish that was the case, but it's at least for now. I mean, we haven't seen that very often. You just about have to be a trader to catch a green candle these days, or just get in early in projects, or do all these other things you didn't have to do before. Like before, it was buying Hex, holding Hex, staking Hex, getting rewarded. Price went up for a period of time, and it went up and down and went down and went sideways, and it didn't crash 98, 99% for a while. So again, I can see how that affects people, how they can get realigned by that happening, how they can get like, start wanting to play other games because, yeah, I mean, there's you got to really go further and really believe in the ideals and really, like, I don't know, just the people who are still here that are, avoiding shilling trash, for example, Richard's words. It's I would say not easy to do. I'm almost like sympathetic almost of like, yeah, I get it. I get why people go off the, they just rage quit or whatever sometimes. So, anyways, I think that we've just been through a lot the last couple of years, and I hear how people are feeling, and I hopefully, me and a lot of other people in the community can just still focus on building, focus on onboarding, focus on helping people understand at least what we see in the ecosystem and the ideals we want to support, and the long-term, I'm going to start calling it long-termism instead of short-termism, long-termism of how these products have changed people's lives before, hopefully how they'll change them in the future. It's so hard to look in the future for most people. Most people don't, their time horizon just moved around, or other priorities change, whatever. Everyone's got stuff going on, but hopefully we can, I don't know. It's almost like if price go up, it seems like it helps at least give people confidence that they're getting rewarded for the wait. And if price doesn't go up, it's almost like the energy needs to, if they're going to stick around, the energy needs to go into something else or some other thing other than, appreciating the chart or even getting yield. If the yields were up, for example, if the prices were up a little bit more and people were yield farming and making like a ton of, they could see like the actual dollar amount, the ton of dollar amount they're making. Again, I know a lot of people are like, dollar amount, that's not, you should look at what was priced in Pulse. You should look at, the future value, look at all that ink, what if it's worth this much in the future? It just doesn't translate for again, like 95% of people then seeing, oh, wow, I'm making 3K a week. I should keep liking this thing, when they can look at another ecosystem or look somewhere else and be like, whoa, I can make that much over here. Why am I this thing like seems very uncertain right now. The founder's not streaming, blah, blah, blah. I can see I can make a case where you're just like, yeah, this just doesn't make sense for me to, only buy these coins and just hold them for a while. Like you start trying to play any other game you can to figure out how to get some profit and just reward yourself for the work you felt like you put in. So not easy. I guess a long way of saying it's not easy. And yeah, I get it. I sympathize with people out there that are struggling to hang in the ecosystem and all that too. But that's why, I've said it plenty of times before, mission oriented. I didn't come in here, with a 6-month time horizon or say like, okay, if this price doesn't go up, if we don't do a 10x in 1 year after launch, then I'm done. Like I didn't come in there with those kinds of expectations or those kinds of timelines. I came in the ecosystem, again, following Richard since 2017, before Hex. I came into PulseChain, very excited, very hopeful, and it was very fun for the first few weeks. And then after that, a little less fun up and down. But I think the networking you're exposed to here, the people, the community, I mean, a lot of positive people in the community as well. And the ideals, again, what it stands for, and the future potential, if you believe, and all these other bullish things that we've talked about a billion times already. It could be, tongue in cheek, 1 billion reasons, 2 billion reasons, 3 billion reasons that it could have some success in the future if the whales bets pay off, and that is indeed what everyone supposes will help the ecosystem, as well as people building and more easy ways to on ramp, and we just got a central exchange listing. And again, I feel like I've broken record for like how many different bullish things there are to be around here. But it's kind of, at the end of the day, if you're not seeing the green candles go up, you kind of got to believe. I mean, if you're going to stay around and be happy and stuff. So anyway, that's my perspective. At least for me, it's like I kind of got to believe in something else. Otherwise, why wouldn't I go chase green candles elsewhere? So yeah, I believe in the ideals of this ecosystem. I believe in Richard as a person to do and accomplish great things. And obviously not the person of rugs, not a rugging person. And yeah, I believe in the people around me that have shown that they're willing to take chances and build on an ecosystem because they see something in it too. Not the only one. I've said before, what would make me leave the ecosystem? If I turned around and saw no one else here. Nobody else, it's just me now? Just me? Okay, well, I guess there's no community, what's the point? What's the point in being here if you're just, anyway, go create a blockchain and you just go hang out. I mean, it's fun, I guess, but not a lot going on. So we're far from that. Even though we have a bunch of different people with different incentives, some like Richard more, some like Richard less, building here, and again, putting their time, energy, effort, capital, sticking around, no matter what event happens, such as the unfollowing, like stuff like that, or SEC stuff or whatever. That's actually exciting. Like that kind of stuff, it sucks for it to happen, but I'm actually excited to see what happens October too, because there's so much to be positive about that. And the legal team and the case, the motion dismiss, like a beautiful body of work of art, let's just say too. So anyways, there you go, HH. You got me thinking of some other directions there, so I appreciate it.